You alright? In the car at the moment. I thought I'd do this video. Went to get some dinner, come to the supermarket. Wife said it opens at 10:30, but it don't, opens at 11, so I'm just sitting in the car park. So anyway, I had an email in the week from this guy from Australia, which is quite cool. So I teach people around the world. And he wanted me to see if I could give any advice for going to a blues jam. What to expect, what should you be prepared for, all questions like that. Because that's quite a big thing. A lot of people I teach, when they start learning, they get more confident. There's a dream to do a gig and, imagining that they're up on stage and playing. It's a great thing to do, but when you've never done it, and the older you get, it takes balls of steel, really, I think. Some people just get up and do it. Others are like, this is like the worst thing I am going to do, but I really want to do it, and it makes them feel sick to the pit of their stomach, everything. I was lucky because my first gig I'd done, I was 13, so I think when you're younger, you don't really think about being scared of anything, or of anything, do you? You don't assess like stuff what is dangerous, you fear. And as you get older, you assess stuff more on what things can go wrong, which I think's not a good thing. So I always try and think, do you know what, sod it, let's just do it and see what happens. I know some things you can't, but I think as a rule that keeps you younger. If you think like that, then like, oh God, this can happen, that can happen, which I've been guilty of in the past before. So you've been playing a bit, you're enjoying the blues, you're into your Stevie Ray Vaughns, your BB Kings, you think you're a decent blues player, you play along indoors, but it is so different playing with other people. Now, the only way you can find out is just to go and do it. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Same with work. When you go to work, you learn as you go along. So if it goes wrong, you can go along to the next one. Like, the world's not going to blow up if you hit a wrong note. You're not getting paid. Everyone else is there doing it for fun. If you think of a golf course, I'm not into golf, but probably the majority on them people on the golf course can't really play, but they enjoy it. So you got to think like that. Say, hold on, I'm not getting paid. There's going to be lots of other people in the same boat. Think of it like this: at a blues jam, every single one in person had to do it for the first time. Yeah. So you may think, oh, I'm going to look stupid. They're going to think I'm ridiculous. But everyone's been there. I've been on stage and not been able to remember a song, and the band leader's staring at me like when I was young. And that is all part of the process. You've got to go wrong to go right. What's it? Say, a man who made no mistakes made nothing. So that's a little saying. So anyway, let's get back to it then. That's just a little thing to give you the confidence to go and do it, hopefully. Hands aching holding this. So, as I said, you've got your guitar, you can play a handful of tunes. What do you expect? Well, let's just talk about, before we get into preparing, when you go to the jam, first thing you're going to do is you're going to go there, and it's going to be a room full of guitarists, especially at a blues jam, yeah? Now, as you go in, you might have to pay a small entrance fee, because obviously people have organised it. They might have to hire the room. And then they put your name down on a list, right? Now, you could get there earlier on in the evening, and you might not get called up to the last hour. So if you are feeling nervous, your nerves are going to get even the better of you, yeah? Because the longer you're waiting, the more you're going to be building up inside. But you got to expect that, right? You may not get called up to the last bit. And normally when you're up there, you get to do 2 or 3 songs. Depends on how many people are at the jam and stuff. So you put your name down and you just wait until they call your name. Now, when people organise these jams, you're going to get a lot of different players at different levels. You're going to have people who've never done it before, like you. You're going to have people who have been going out every month for God knows how many years, and they're good blues players. But the thing is, which is really hard for people who run these jams, they can't really organise who you get put with, yeah? So you might get players who are a lot better than you up there. And that is going to be unnerving as well. You might get players up there where you said they're probably not going to put you up there with a player as well who's never done it before, because it could crash and burn, do you know what I mean, if you're both nervous. So you do need, get this in your head, you need people who are better than you, yeah? Because if they're better than you, you've got to raise your level, yeah? Or you will know next time, like, what you're gonna take away from it is the same with work. If you're working with people who've got more experience, you're learning from them. So you might go there and be like a rabbit in the headlights, but when you walk away from it, if you have a nightmare up on stage, it's told you what you need to work on, because you can't prepare for getting up on stage and doing it. You've just got to go for it and see what happens. So the best thing is, you actually want to get up there with people who are better than you, believe it or not, because then you know what you've got to do to raise your level and what to practice. So yes, you will get called up, and it could be with people who've been playing years, people who have been doing it, you know, this random, because if they've got a load of guitarists at a jam, they can't fit everyone in. So they've just got a group of people together and hope it works. Now, preparing for this, right? You might learn a song in the key of E, yeah? And when you get to the jam, they might say, we're doing that song, but the guy who's singing it says, I do it in G. You're going to be stuck if you don't know how to transpose your pentatonic scales. So, preparation. Be able to play over blues progressions in the majority of the popular keys. Most guitarists don't like playing in B flat, and unless their voice is more accustomed to that, or E flat. So keys you want to be comfortable in is E, A, G, C, D, and B, yeah? They're going to be in the majority of the scales, and you want to be confident. So if they call a song and they say it's in the key of C, you know where your pentatonic scale is, yeah? So you can play over that. Don't jump in straight away. Let the band start up and then try and get a feel for it. The other thing is, don't overplay. Now, a lot of guitarists love jamming, but their rhythm skills are not great. And that is one of the things what lets people down at a jam, is what do I play when I'm not doing a solo, right? 90% of the song is you backing the singer, and then you get your little bit for your solo. So I would start working on your rhythm. I've just done a lesson on YouTube on that, about playing different rhythms. And if you not too sure, just play really sparsely, because you're going to be better off doing that than overplaying, because that would be like a conversation where someone's chatting too much and they're not letting you get a word in edgeways. So less is more, and it won't cause alarm bells then. And then when you do your solo, do it. You might muck up and your head will go, and you might, you know, play out of key just by one fret. That happens a lot. But you've got to be prepared that that is going to happen, yeah? So with learning songs, obviously blues, it's 12-bar blues, yeah? Have an understanding of, if someone calls a song in a key of G, you know the chords are going to be G, G7, C7, D7. If it's going to be an A, make sure you know the chords, A7, D7, E7. Even have a little piece of paper, so write down the chords of all the main keys for a 12-bar blues. Because when you get up, you may have played, say, Red House, but the guy who's getting up and the drummer, they might do a different version of it. So you've got to be prepared to change. You've got to think, it's like you can't fit a triangle into a circle. Do you know what I mean? So if you just think, well, and some people like that, that's all I know, I could only play it that way. You've got to learn to adapt. And by adapting, stay out of the way. So just play a chord. If you're not too sure, just strum a chord. make it look like it's a really important thing, and you know, just play sparsely, as I said, and then take note of what the other people are playing rhythm wise and think, oh, I need to go away and work on that. Maybe take a phone and video so you can hear what you're doing. Got my son calling, I probably want something. So when you go to the gig, make sure you know how to play the pentatonic shapes in them keys I said. If you get caught out with the others, oh well, just say you can't do it in that one, or try and do them in all. So basically, don't go to the jam thinking I've got to be ultra prepared. Be prepared enough, because that's what people do. They say, I'm not good enough, I'll wait till I'm good enough. You're never going to be good enough until you get in the driving seat and give it a go. It's a bit like sitting in a car, like in a car park, like I am. You know, you're not going to learn how to drive until you start it up and start going. So you can be prepared as much as you like indoors, but it's not going to prepare you for going onto the stage, and you will probably muck up, but just accept that. So go out there, find your blues jams and turn up to them. You're going to get some which are better than others, some are worse, but just go along to them all. What nights you can do. They're normally in the midweek, so you got no excuses. You know, they're not normally on the weekend, because these venues have obviously got other stuff they can earn more money doing. So that's it. And just look at popular blues tunes on Spotify or on Google, what to learn at a blues jam. You know, you're going to have your BB Kings, The Thriller's Gone. You're going to have, can't think now, Brain's Gone Dead, Rock Me Baby, another BB King one. Red House. You might even do Johnny Be Good. There's going to be loads and loads of songs, and you can't learn them all either as well. So it's like, I like jazz, yeah? Now, there's loads of jazz standards I should know, and some you never hear. I mean, you could keep on going with jazz standards, but you just got to go with what you know, yeah? And build up on that. And you will probably go to the jam and someone will call a song and you'll be like, oh, I've never heard that. But as long as you know what key it's in, you will be fine. And then you're going to start learning the blues repertoire by going along and listening to other people play. So, hope that helps. Let me know what you think. And I think I've got to go now because it's opened up the supermarket. Right. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.